What is going down, everyone? It's time for Mojobreak.com, the hype episode 305. It's Bowman Chrome week, and we're excited to talk about the prospects, the players, the checklist, dissecting what you guys should chase, what breaks you guys should get in. If you're thinking about getting in a break, we've got an awesome deal for you guys at Mojobreak.com. Newly redesigned and as quick as it's ever been. So user-friendly. But we want to give you guys some money back. We want to give you $20 just for using the site. Our hype listeners, our loyal hype listeners. So if you want to get in a Bowman Chrome break, use code Bowman20. That's all together, lowercase, get you $20 off any Bowman break. And there's only 50 coupons available, and it's only active for a few days. So get on there now. Save big on Bowman. Maybe you find a team, it's like $30. You're paying $10 a team. Maybe you find a team for $20. Who knows? Get a free team. Use the code, use the new site, and get in some Bowman breaks. We're going to be talking about that today on today's show. We also have Guess That Price, Make It a Return. So we're going to discuss that. We've got Babe Ruth cards from Bowman. Are they going to be worth the bounty that DA Card World put out? We also have Aaron Rodgers and the big news, losing him for the year. The Hard Knock star goes down. So that, we're also going to be talking about some Tim Tam chocolates as well. We got to the field today, played some baseball in order to get ready for Bowman Chrome. Lots of sweats, lots of swinging the stick. What did you think about today, Dan?
I'm a little sore. I feel pretty good about my performance today. Felt like I was
left it all out there.
I felt like I left it out there. We did a little fielding. We did a little hitting. I felt like I was at least 3 tools out there. I showed off 3 tools.
That's better solid. Than just being a tool.
Yeah. So yeah, better than a single tool.
3 tools is better than being a tool. Absolutely.
Yeah, so
words to live by.
I felt pretty good. Besides Cody trying to strike me out, I felt pretty good.
Again, I did that because I ran up 10 miles. I got a better workout doing baseball than I did doing the football stuff we did last week. Not something I would have expected to say. I was fully winded. I was out of it. I think there was one catchable ball, and I was like, there it is. There's the catch. No, I'm done. I will die. I will die if I try to get that ball.
I'll agree with you because I did the football one as well, and I feel that I was definitely a little bit more winded out there, shagging balls and swinging the stick.
Don't let anybody tell you that baseball is not, like, oh, they're not the real athletes, whatever. Like, don't let anybody tell you that. It's tiring. It's
a tiring game. It's fun, though. It's fun to go out there and, shag a little balls.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I thought we all did pretty well.
I think we all did all right.
I think we all did pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, and I sweat off so many cows that shout out to our Australian customer who sent us some Tim Tams in the mail. I was able to... all straight from Australia Post, by the way. I mean, thank you so much for sending us some Tim Tams. Sent some to us as the podcast crew.
I'm showing it to the viewers.
The breakers, the shipping. I mean, it was a whole box of stuff.
Greatly appreciate it.
I never have had it before, and it is, oh my God. I don't know if it's because I'm on the Weight Watchers and I'm just eating like paper all day long, but that was just decadent. So I appreciate that. And Cody tells us a story about the coffee. He does his Tim Tam and some coffee or something like that.
Let break down the greatness of the Tim Tam.
Break it down. Let me tell you how good a Tim Tam is, because here's the thing to do with it. And look, I've already got one pre-done. This is like a professional cooking show. I've already got it pre-done. That's how you do it. If you apparently, I know this. My sister went on her honeymoon to Australia, comes back and is like, Tim Tams. You drink them with your coffee. Like a little biscotti or something.
You don't do the typical. You don't dip them in.
You can dip them, but the pro move is to take off a bite. You can see on each corner right there. Oh, look at that! My autofocus on point right now. You take a little bite off of each corner. You get your coffee, and then you suck the thing through it, and then the wafer.
This is amazing radio.
And then the wafer gets all like melty and gooey, and you chomp that up. You have your coffee. Delicious.
I think I need to see it done.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll.
We do have a little coffee pod thing that we could try it.
It's maybe for the next show.
A little coffee.
A little coffee. And,
you can actually buy these around here, by the way. The little World Market, if you've ever been there. Fun little spot.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun spot. Got lots of fun snacks and
fun spot at a grocery
is.
store. Fun spot.
It's sort of like part grocery
I
store.
don't look forward to going to the grocery store.
It's like part grocery store, part like little like it's kind of got a little bit of everything. It's got like stuff to put in your backyard. It's got like it's like what if Bed Bath and Beyond also had a grocery store?
There is no more Bed Bath and Beyond.
No, I
don't
know.
believe.
R.I.P.
Really?
to a real one.
I
Yeah,
think,
it's gone.
I think it's gone.
It is
very,
gone.
Notice.
Very, very.
It has
very,
gone to the great beyond.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Man, wasn't that they went from being in Click with Adam Sandler to fading into oblivion?
When's the last time you'd gone to a Bed Bath and Beyond?
Been a while.
Probably a couple years.
You guys are the reason.
Yeah, I used to go. Well, that's like
They had some fun gadgets there.
Hey, look, you want to talk about like references to like in movies? I was watching for the first time in years, watching Minority Report, Tom Cruise, and it's supposed to take place in like what 2055, and he's got like some robot. I can't remember exactly the details, but the guy says, I don't know, take her to a circuit, take her to a Radio Shack. I'm like they're saying that in 2055. That's a bold move.
Radio Shack has been gone for probably close to 20 years now.
It's been gone for almost as long as that movie's been out.
Yeah.
Radio Shack. Who was that? Howie Long and
Superman's
girlfriend, former 49er cheerleader. What the heck was their name? Terry Hatcher.
Yes,
Terry Hatcher.
local.
Which
Yeah,
I thought
Terry
they were
Hatcher.
married, but nope, they were just doing Radio Shack commercials together. So
Like, oh, how nice.
Breaking
This
news.
Husband and wife doing Radio Shack commercials together. Nope, not married.
I thought they were an item. But yeah, I mean,
They
but
looked
Bed
great
Bath
together.
and Beyond was this thing that's like, man, if you needed a back scratcher, foot scratcher at the same, like doing
foot scratcher?
No, one
Is
that
that a
does them
thing?
both at the same time. That's where you'd go.
You would go there to get like a potato peeler.
Mm-hmm. A nice pillow.
Yeah,
Some
maybe
throw pillows.
Maybe
no,
a
but it
throw
would be
pillow.
like a pillow that like massaged your like.
No,
your,
you're not.
your,
It
your
wasn't
mustache.
the-
or
Well,
something.
that
you're
almost
talking
feels more-
sharper image.
Yeah, that's more of a
I guess
sharper
yeah,
image.
but no, they
Yeah,
started to
dude.
borderline sharper image. You're like, if you want a pillow that plays Metallica,
No, it was like you
go
want
to Bed Bath
an
and Beyond.
electric kettle.
Right.
You go to Bed Bath and Beyond.
Sure. You want a nice, a new throw rug.
a throw rug.
Yeah.
You go to Bed Bath.
You want
and Beyond.
a nice towel set.
Bed Bath. I guess all the things we're talking about. I guess some of them's bed, but a lot of them's Beyond.
Beyond is more like kitchen stuff, ovens and whatnot, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, thrilling. Radio Shack. We're talking about a dead retail.
Okay, so let's go ahead and throw it. Toys R Us.
Toys R Us, but back
Sadly.
now. But it's back.
Where?
In Macy's.
It's in Macy's, and if you want to
It's got
call that,
there's a Toys R Us section.
you want to call that.
I feel like we've talked about this on the show
Have you
already.
seen it?
It's just a toy section in
It
Macy's.
is not even a toy section.
Small.
You walk in, and the one closest to us, I walked in, and they had a display like a kiosk, and it was like Toys R Us, and I'm all, this is.
I know.
not
I was
Toys
so
R
sad.
Us.
My oldest daughter got to like kind of remember the one on Blossom Hill. Like,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was already kind of closing at the time, but I was telling my 5-year-old, and she was like bummed out. I mean, I didn't get a chance. That was like when I was a kid. When you guys were kids, probably the same thing. When your parents were like, "We're going to Toys R Us," that was like the best day ever. You're like,
It was the greatest.
and then remember you used to get when you buy a video game, you'd have to get the little slip.
It wasn't a little slip.
Yeah.
It wasn't a little. It was a
huge
giant.
slip,
It was
yeah.
a giant ass slip.
And then you had to get you'd buy it, and then they'd send you to that guy in the room, the cage.
Yeah.
And he'd have all the video games behind him, and you're like, that guy has the coolest job ever.
That guy had the dream job.
Yeah, and you'd be like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and you're like, all right, cool. And you come out, and
All right,
brand new.
I have to say this because a light bulb just went off in my head, and I know, we will get to the cards here in a second. But do you guys happen to remember Nickelodeon did a contest in the 90s?
Did you win a Nickelodeon
Oh
contest?
God, I wish it was the dream. It was the dream. I went to Great America every time I'd be, please me.
Oh, did you?
sign me."
Did you
Never
ever?
happened.
They never. Okay.
Never.
I have a buddy who went up there, and I used to love that show.
I loved them so.
That was a great show at Great America.
Nick Jr. was by the splash stage.
All
but it
all
was
the
like
Nickelodeon area.
like they would like slime you, and it was like a dream to go on that.
Who
And
didn't wanna
I
be
never got
slimed?
picked.
But they did a thing in the 90s. It was like a Toys R Us contest where someone got picked. I entered every year for like 5 straight years. And it was, you got 10 minutes to go into a Toys R Us, it was like it was the grocery store.
Oh,
game,
yeah.
you know
Shop till you drop or something.
Basically, you had 10 minutes and just grab as much stuff as you could fit in the cart. And if you got back to the front of the store at the end of 10 minutes, you got every single thing in that cart.
Oh, my, that was amazing.
The absolute dream. And I just was so jealous every year. Anyway,
I wonder if you would be able to get. I wonder if the slips would count.
That's so a lot of
all I
kids.
do.
So they
So
couldn't
you
get
would just go and just you would just like
so
grab
a lot of kids I remember would go straight to the bike section and just boop, 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 take every single one, and then okay, now I'm gonna go and get the stuff I want. Because that was like, you got to get the prime items. You got to get the good mountain bike. Got to get the Nintendo. So like that all stuff had slips. So they just had like a stack of slips.
It was a little battery powered Power Wheels.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Got to get that.
Rollerblades. Yeah, got to get it all.
Good times.
Well, let's talk about the Bowman Chrome checklist.
Maybe.
2023 Bowman Chrome. Once again, use that code. Go to Mojobreak.com. We've been doing breaks every day, all day. Pick your team, randoms, choice, hobby, whatever it is. You can get it at Mojobreak.com. And check us out on Fanatics Live, too. We'll be doing live auctions for teams, as well as pick your teams on there as well. But this group of prospects is mainly international guys. A lot of them are super young. And that's the beauty of Bowman, is finding these guys early, being a believer, and watching them turn into Mike Trout. But this is headlined by Ethan Salas. Ethan Salas is the big name coming out of the gate as we sit here in September of 2023. Ethan Salas is the guy. He's 16th on the top 100. That's for MLB. Top 100. He's 16th top prospect. Best catching prospect in baseball.
He's actually fifth now.
He's fifth?
They just did a re-rank. He's number 5.
Wow. So he's number 5.
Yeah, I want to say Keith Law.
17 years old.
5. Yeah.
17 years old. Hit 9 home runs in his first 48 pro games. So this guy's got power. The downside here for collectors is catchers. Now, before I want to ask you guys a question. Mount Rushmore of catchers all time.
Just and we're not specifically thinking cards or anything, right?
I mean,
Or are
no.
we
I
thinking
think in the
just in
history of the game, who would be the Mount? I mean, because I think that's the toughest position to get a superstar name out of, right?
Yogi Berra
Mike Piazza,
Is he on the Mount Rushmore?
best hitting catcher of all time.
probably is on there. Yeah.
Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench.
Yep. Who's going to have his first Bowman in Bowman, by the way?
See, I would go for sure Berra Bench.
But Berra just was kind of like that. He was kind of like
you look at the stats.
he was the guy that was on that team. He just happened to be in the right place, right? I mean,
if you talk to anybody, he's the leader. Of those
and he has what, 10 rings?
Oh, yeah.
It's 10 rings, right?
Let's put a little respect on Yogi Berra's name here for a
Put
second.
some respect on my
I'm
name.
looking up the stats right now. I mean,
I'm going there too.
358 career homers, an all-star
285.
every year from 1948 until 1962. Career 285, batting average, 830 career OPS.
3 MVPs.
I mean,
Yeah,
he was pretty good.
not bad.
On the
pretty
Mount
good.
Rushmore. How about Thurman Munson?
No,
probably didn't play long enough.
I guess my next. That's where. Yeah, I guess I go Piazza. I know we're missing people. I know people are screaming in their car. Or
Buster
whatever
Posey?
I know people will be like
Pudge
homers.
Rodriguez?
Pudge, I think you can
Ivan
make an
Rodriguez.
argument. I think you can make an argument. Carlton Fisk. I think
Fisk.
Roy Campanella is the guy I would lean towards,
Yeah.
and I think that would be my 4.
Gary
Berra-
Carter?
Gary Carter is a
Gary
good
Carter.
choice. Berra, Campanella, Bench, Piazza. I think those are my 4.
It also depends on which era that you really grew up watching baseball. I mean, I think all of us, like Mike Piazza, we all saw him play.
Benito Santiago?
Benito's my guy.
But how about like Craig Biggio?
He
played-
was
he
a
played-
catcher
he
at a certain
played
point.
catcher.
That is true. Pablo Sandoval.
But yeah, I don't know if like. I mean,
If we want to play that game.
but Biggio's he's a Hall of Famer.
No, yes, I know.
I don't.
Not as
but-
a catcher, though.
Not as a catcher,
Second
but
baseman,
he
center
did,
fielder.
and I think I brought it up before. He, I think, is one of the few ball players who won Gold Gloves at 3 different positions.
It's incredible.
And the reason I bring this up, and Ethan Salas obviously has a lot of hype. The Padres in breaks are selling. I've seen them. Early bird gets the worm on our site. We started them at $3.99. Other sites have them all the way up to like $600 for a team spot in a case break of HTA. So, but my point is like, can the catcher be sustainable? I mean, if you ask any young kid right now that's not from probably the Bay Area who their favorite player is, I'd say 99 out of 100 does not mention a catcher.
No.
So, I mean, and I know that doesn't doesn't matter in card world. I mean, we hope that Adley Rutschman can break that, and we've seen his prices hold. But you look back, you've got modern guys. You've got Yadi Molina. You've got Buster Posey and Joe Mauer. Am I those are the three of the last 20 years, the top 10 of the last 20 years?
Those are the three of the last 20 for sure. Those are the guys who I think when they get up on the Hall of Fame ballot, there's going to be discussions. If not, they're going to get into the Hall of Fame.
And I think Mauer and Posey are not shoo-ins when people say Yadi is, right? So,
yeah. I even think Yachty has some guys who are like, yeah, he put up a lot of numbers, but only because he played so much. I'm not one of those guys. I'm like, you put him in because what he did defensively made such a difference. And
that's what people, I think, miss. I mean, I always make the argument with Buster Posey. 13 shutouts in the playoffs that he called. And I know that's, the pitcher has to pitch the ball still.
That is a stat that only Giants fans would.
But most all-time, most postseason shutouts that had been caught by a catcher in the history of baseball. But like when Posey was back there behind the dish, guys had good games. He saw the game well. Probably be a good coach sometime. But that gets lost when it comes to prospects. People don't look at that. Posey also was a good guy that throwing out people at second. I mean, he had a strong arm, but that doesn't translate to long bombs and card selling. So, and then basically you get the wear down of the knees, come kind of year 8, year 9.
They tend to have shorter careers.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this about Ethan Salas, 17 years old. There's no guarantee that he is going to come up in the organization as a catcher. He's a catcher.
Probably easier path, though.
He's a catcher right now, but I think it completely changed the landscape now that we have the universal DH. Even if he does come up as a catcher, he doesn't have to catch every single day, and he can be in the lineup every day.
Yeah, I think
imagine if Buster Posey had the option in his whole career to essentially play almost half the season as a DH if he wanted to.
And I remember they tried playing him at first a lot, and at the end of his career kind of petered off. They just gave him the days off instead. But they did definitely do that throughout.
They tried.
Most of his
I don't
early
think
parts of
that
his career.
would have happened if he didn't have the hip injury.
Yeah, and you're right. That is the biggest difference of what the rule changed with the National League compared to when these guys played. So we'll have to see if that. I mean, you also see some catchers going down on one knee now a lot too. So you're seeing that
the new thing. Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of instead of being in the squat, you got them on the one knee. You know what I mean?
What's
up,
Kruk?
Shout out to Kruk.
Yeah. Posey was doing that in his last year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, to help not so much energy.
It also, but I mean, I don't know. I never played catcher, and I don't really. It is what it is. It doesn't seem like you can block the ball as well being on a knee. Doesn't seem like you have the mobility from side to side and keep the ball in front of you.
I think when there's a runner on base,
they do it when there's
who do
nobody.
that. There seems to be more pass balls now than there was.
Well, they're not necessarily doing that when there's somebody on base, but I think they're doing it in the first batter, and if the pitcher's on a roll and there's nobody on base, I think you see that a little bit more. But yeah, when there's somebody on first, they're not on a knee. It would be a stolen base every time.
I will say this about the collectability of catchers, something that I think we've been debating for a while, especially as we were all kind of awaiting, like, okay, when Adley Rutschman comes up, is the momentum still going to be there? And I feel like that, yeah, it's still there. I think that most people, I know there are other rookies. Corbin is like more collected rookie, I think, this year. Hotter name. Obviously, you've had Ellie De La Cruz. You've had Gunnar Henderson on his own team. But I think for the most part, the momentum for Adley it's still pretty good right now. Topps have made him the poster boy this year, and I think for the most part, he's kind of dispelling the notion that catchers don't sell well.
Well, and sadly, to this point, without me looking at the data, I'm pretty sure that he will outsell 2008's Bowman draft Buster Posey auto and Yadier Molina's first rookie auto, or rookie. I don't think he has a rookie auto. So can Adley be better than those guys in his career? That's a concern. But I think what we're hopeful here is by the time Ethan Salas come up, to Dan's point, could be a DH half the time. Maybe teams carry more catchers these days to combat that and give people more days off at that position. So that might help his career last. If you're looking at the second guy, you've got Samuel Basallo, who is a first base catcher for the Orioles. Now his ranking is 61 overall. This is according to justbaseball.com. Could have changed by the time they wrote this article. He's got, Orioles are on the up and up, so that's a guy. He's also 18 years old. You've got Luis Lara for the Brewers, who's ranked 63. He's an outfielder. You've got, this is the name that I was looking at. Hopefully I say this right. Felnin Celestin.
Yes.
Shortstop for the Mariners, who signed a record $4.7 million contract during the 2023 IFA period. So looks have extremely limited for Celestin, but he's a great athlete who is physically projectable with 5-tool potential. He could quickly become a top prospect with a strong showing in his pro debut next year. So that's a guy. Brandon Maya for the Yankees. Not in the top 100, but signed a $4.35 million international free agent. He's on the Yankees.
He's a Yankee. I mean, we've seen that before. We saw him. I mean, God, by the way, the worst news ever. I'm sure you saw about Jason Dominguez, that torn UCL. He's going to be out until halfway till next year.
Oh, my God. I did not see that.
Yeah. Really heartbreaking news after looking incredible in his first few games.
Same injury as Shohei.
Yeah,
When did it
Shohei,
happen,
Bryce
batting,
Harper.
or-
Yeah, something happened. He felt a pinch and realized it was a torn UCL. So he'll be out. But again, he's got youth on his side. He's going to be back halfway through next year, maybe June or July of next year.
I mean, they're not really playing for anything right now.
Not right now, no. I mean, it stinks though that like there was the one thing that you could hang your hat on as a Yankee fan, and like
Talking baseball, and I think the Orioles just surpassed 90 wins. And it's like the first time they've done it
in a
like
while,
30 years,
probably
or something
since
like that.
Probably since what Machado was there about 10 years ago or so. They had a run there in the mid.
97.
Is it really that long? They can't be.
91 wins, yeah. 91 wins now.
The mid 2000s they had some good teams with Machado and Chris Davis and those guys.
Melvin Mora.
God bless.
And Minnesota,
Melvin Mora.
Minnesota, I know they've been
a
in
weird
and
team.
around. They're in position right now in that weak division.
Sure would love to be in that division if I was a fan of any other
Seriously.
team
Yeah, I
right
know,
now.
man.
Yeah,
75 and 69.
I think it's worth noting that this product is going to have, like you said, Felnian Celestine, another Mariners prospect who could be playing alongside Julio Rodriguez very, very soon. That's enticing. Joendry Vargas, a Dodger prospect who is also highly touted. You mentioned already Maella as well. So it's a really good class.
And
of international
Rainer
prospects.
Arias is the second
Yes.
for the Giants. Here comes the homer talk.
Didn't want to be too much homer, but yes.
but a $2.7 million signing bonus, second largest in franchise history. So obviously every year it gets bigger anyway. But his dad was is a scout and was in the Tiger system as a prospect. So they believe in him. He's 17 years old too. So what's crazy about this is that we're going to be like hype 500 where we're like, oh, Rainer Arias has got called up, or Ethan Salas is called up, and we're like 2026 or something like that. That's how far away some of this might be, right?
It feels like that, and it does feel like that in the moment. But like Jordan Lawler just got called up by the Diamondbacks. He was what, a year ago? First Bowman, 2 years ago, maybe.
Long time ago. Dude.
Jordan Lawler.
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe 2 years ago.
It seems like
guys are getting called up faster.
Guys get the earliest they get called up is like 19.
Yeah, that's true. But I will say I have seen a lot of guys in the last. Pete Crow Armstrong I saw just got called up by the Cubs. There's a lot of guys.
Pete Crow Armstrong, I thought he was on. I thought he was on the Mets.
He got traded.
He got traded.
2021
for Lawler.
Okay,
Yeah,
so a 2-year path though.
Let's see, Pete Crow.
I want to say he's maybe a little earlier. I could be wrong.
2020.
Okay,
2020.
So
yeah.
2020. It's
2020,
crazy
yeah.
right now. But yeah, I think there is like guys are getting called up. Ellie De La Cruz. His stuff was not that long ago. So again, it also dictates. Sometimes it's just there's a lot of guys who get called up in the right spot in the right moment. So it happens. But it does. I am having this feeling of like, are guys getting called up sooner? Jackson Holiday is like almost in triple. Is he in AAA? I could be wrong, but he's flying through the system.
It does seem like guys are getting called up earlier, but it's still like you're not seeing a lot of like 18-year-olds.
Yeah, Jordan Lawler was on the fast track, and it took 2 years.
Yeah, I think 19 is about as early as. About as young as they get.
Yeah.
And rounding that out on that list, Braylor Guerrero for the Rays, $3.7 million to sign him on the 2023 class. Another young guy, another Ray. And that kind of rounds out your tier 1 guys. 2 Yankees, though. So, you get the Yankees in a break. They've got 2 of the top tier guys, obviously highlighted by Ethan Salas. I did want to talk about this Babe Ruth situation. So we've got mentioned this on the hype, as we're still on the Bowman Chrome topic. They have retrofractors, and they're going to have superfractors as well, of 3 guys. We've got Roberto Clemente, George Hermanruth, so pictured on the Red Sox, and Johnny Bench. And Johnny Bench with a first Bowman auto as well. There has been Babe Ruth cards in Bowman, though, and I think there has been Clemente as well. I think the Ruth cards were in a 2017 National Pack, but it did not have the first Bowman distinction, and it was a Yankees card.
First Bowman, man.
So I know we are all up in arms. The hobby is like DA came out and put a $200,000 bounty on the Ruth Superfractor. So if you get the Ruth Superfractor, you're selling it to DA. That's all you're doing. You're not going to hold on to it. But the hobby's like, this is just a way for people to sell more product. Yes. 100%.
What?
You figured
Ding,
it out.
ding, 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 ding.
You figured it out. Jeez, genius. Bing. Yeah, you're selling products.
I don't know.
You don't think that was? They're like, this
Just
is
out of
just
the
a
good-
gimmick to
yeah,
sell more
This is
product.
just out of the goodness of their heart. Okay.
Yeah,
I mean-
they're just giving back.
I don't know if there was any stipulations, but DA Cardworld stepping up to the plate. Our friends from the Chase,
Yeah,
over at DA
it's
Cardworld.
exciting.
I love it.
And they're probably healing from last night's loss against Zach Wilson. So, you know what? Give them a little bit of credit for having this Babe Ruth bounty right on their front page there. I'm trying to figure out if there is any stipulations in it. Like, is there a date? Is
Oh,
there a
yeah,
deadline?
like that Drew Jones had to be hit at a certain
Yeah,
point.
yeah. So, but obviously, that card is not worth $200,000. We can kind of all agree on that.
Yes.
I mean, if there was no
It's
bounty,
worth whatever somebody's willing to pay for it.
Correct. If there was no
and,
bounty,
and
I guess that means it's worth $200,000.
And DA is willing to pay $200,000 for it. So in my book, that card's worth $200,000.
All right.
What
Well,
about? I mean, we could say the same thing about the ring, the Magic the Gathering.
right.
I mean,
well, they
that-
kind of indirectly made Post Malone probably pay a lot more for it than he would have.
But that one at least, and this might sound crazy, but that one at least, like, is there anything else close to that? Nothing compares to that. Whereas,
but couldn't they just make it? Couldn't they just make another one?
they could.
Like next
They
year,
could make
like,
another
ne-
Babe Ruth Superfractor if you really wanted to.
No,
But that's, if you want to go by that logic,
not with the first Bowman on it.
I guess.
Well, it says, if you didn't know, our owner, Adam Martin, is such a big Ruth collector, but it was brought to our attention after seeing the checklist that Adam put out the $200,000 bounty on the Babe Ruth Chrome Prospect Retrofractor, one-of-one Superfractor from Bowman Chrome. So we also know that Adam collects Clemente as well, so who knows if we'll see a bounty for that one. So keep that in mind. We'll see what happens, right? It doesn't say anything about any other data. The chase begins Wednesday, September 13th, the release of Bowman Chrome. It's also your birthday, so happy early birthday. The eve of your birthday. And maybe you'll pull it on your birthday. Maybe you will. So.
I mean, I've been known to just
Pull some
destroy products.
yeah, pull some big cards on release dates.
Ooh,
It's happened
man,
before.
That'd be crushing if I'd pulled that for everybody.
I guess, but like in my mind,
I mean, it
I'm
wouldn't
like,
be my card, so
look, this is a cool poll, but like if I am getting Bowman Chrome, I would be thrilled to get one of these retrofractors, but I'm still going into it with like I want to get Ethan Solis. I want
I
to get
think it's an
Rainer
extra added
Arias.
bonus.
Yeah, it's a
That
fun
is-
thing.
That's amazing.
It's a Willy
Right.
Wonka ticket
There
inside
ain't
of a...
no, I
you
mean,
know.
even take away the Superfractor. I think there's still, 81 of each. That
You
are
get any
gonna be
numbered
numbered,
one, it's
different
gonna be great.
variations
But
of
it, you know, it's funny, and I alluded to it at the beginning, is like, you know, and Cody has it on here as well, is that, you know, obviously the 1966 blank back or 1916 blank back rookie sold for $244,000. We all know the point of this whole program. We all know that it's easy to be like, I could buy a Lamborghini, I could buy a house in Detroit, I could buy a mansion in Florida, you know, but I got $200,000 super. The whole point, yes, to drive sales and create excitement on the product. If you pull that Babe Ruth, you're gonna be like, you know what, keeping it.
$10K.
I'm gonna keep it because you know
I'm
what?
just
I don't
gonna sell
need
it.
$200,000.
It's worth. I feel it's worth $10K. I'm just gonna put it and sell it for $10K.
Are you the person-
Are you gonna do that?
Right. Are you the person that goes to, Dave and Buster's and collects all the tickets and then doesn't use it? Come on. You're going to use it. You're going to take that bounty and you're going to take your $200,000.
I've never. I just play the games.
You don't play the games? They have the
For the love of the game. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I'm
Well,
not.
I'm not
What am I gonna
usually-
get? What am I
yeah.
gonna get? Like a pencil eraser?
coffee mug or something.
Ticket games. It's like again. It's you wouldn't. It's when you realize like the allure of Vegas slot machines.
Yeah, you're
is
not. You're
the
not
game.
You're not gonna win a $200,000 Babe Ruth Superfractor.
Look, even if I win the thousand
D&B's.
right? If I learn like the 1,500 ticket jackpot, like cool, I'm getting
you're
a
gonna get some-
giant life-size minion doll.
or you're gonna get like 70 Airheads.
yeah.
No,
When you put it that way,
it's tempting. Or you can, for 500,000 tickets, you can get the Xbox. You're just going to spend about 20 grand by the time you
Oh,
get all
yeah,
those
yeah.
tickets. So unless you
Talking
find a
about a
loophole in the
racket.
system, but no, I'm just saying, if you pull this card, you may be the guy on Twitter that's like, this sucks. You pulled it tomorrow at your local card store in a break. You're going to go cash it in. That's all I'm saying.
You're gonna be like, how do I contact DA Card World?
right?
Anybody have a direct contact?
I mean, it's cool that somebody's actually doing it. Yeah, maybe it's a gimmick, but we don't. Somebody can pull this and get $200,000. What's the Ethan Salas Superfractor go for?
it won't be that.
You don't think so?
200K? Well, I don't know.
Well, that's another thing
he's ranked 5th.
He's ranked 5th
prospect.
and he's 17.
He's 17 years old.
I don't know.
No, maybe.
He very well could be the greatest Padre
What
ever
did
to do it.
Jason Dominguez? What did his go for?
474,000.
It's a different time.
Well, if you guys,
Yeah, I don't think it will,
I think you
actually.
saw it already. I'll test Dan's knowledge. Top 15 active MLB players, most expensive card sales ever. Who's number one?
Active?
Yes,
It's still Trout, right?
Trout.
number one.
Otani's got to be in there.
He is, but who's number two?
I think I saw this list. I think.
Yeah, so maybe I just asked Dan.
Dominguez?
No, he's three.
I was shocked by this. Number 2.
It's going to be a weird, like,
He's a big name.
modern. Okay, so they have to be they have to be
Active.
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 So they're actively
Somebody who's
playing.
still playing.
Bobby Witt?
Vlad Jr. So 552K, Vlad Jr. Jason Dominguez, 474K. Bryce Harper, 432K. Now, I don't know which cards these are. These are just the highest sales. I'm
Right.
assuming they're supers or reds. Ronald Acuna, 361,000. Aaron Judge, 324,000. Shohei Ohtani, 312,000. Soto, 300,000. Julio,
That will
276,000. Tatis, 241. This is the one that probably hurt the most. Wander Franco, 193,000. Jake DeGrom, 156,000.
What?
Volpe, 150,000. Luis Robert, 134,000, and Chris Bryant at 112,000.
Not okay. This is
Someone-
I don't believe any of those players were catchers
Not a
or
one.
are catchers. And
Not a
I also if you take Otani out of it, not one pitcher except for DeGrom.
DeGrom is weird. I gotta see
DeGrom's
what
a
card that
surprise
was.
one.
because he didn't have an auto.
Yeah, he didn't have autos.
So it had to have just been a
He only had
Superfractor.
rookie autos. His first auto was rookie autos in Top Scrum, if I'm not mistaken. That will change. Someone is sitting on an Otani card. That will be number 1. There's someone out there sitting on an Otani.
Well, the original Superfractor sold, and I think it was like for 100,000, but it was like
Yeah.
in 2019, right before the bubble.
yeah,
remember?
someone is sitting on a gold mine right now, and I think it's going to be whenever Otani signs his contract, or I don't know now. I feel like everything's changed with the injury.
I mean Otani's prices. I mean, even since 2018, it's been a roller coaster.
yeah.
It's been a lot
Although
of
he
peaks
is-
and valleys. I mean, I know that like it'll never go down to where it was in like probably 2019.
Yeah.
2019 was probably the lowest, and that's ironically that's when that Superfractor was sold. That was probably the lowest that his market will ever be. With what because at that point it was like he didn't really prove anything.
Right.
Now he's proven to be when healthy,
The best.
best
Potentially
hitter,
ever.
best hitter, best pitcher, and potentially, like you said, the best ever to do it.
Yeah. Which is, you know what? It kind of feels like everything is lining up for another that to sell again, because there is, for the first time since then, there is some doubt about the future of Ohtani as a two-way player. And it's like he's almost certainly going to win the MVP again. Do you get out now?
If you're holding, hypothetically, I mean, this is not even something that we were going to plan on talking about.
Yeah.
But hypothetically, say you're holding 20 substantial Shohei Ohtani cards. What are you doing with those cards? Are you
20?
You have 20 of them. You have 20 of them. You can hold diamond hands. You can sell. You can hold half, sell half. What are you doing?
I think I'm selling like 15 and keeping 5.
Ooh, okay. You're.
I'm gonna go high. This is after he wins the MVP, which I'm almost certain he's going to. I'm gonna sell then because I think that's gonna be a really high. I think it's at this point there is going to be those people who doubt it, but there's enough people who are like, this is a long-term, forever hold, which is also how I feel. I think if I only had one Ohtani card, I don't think I would sell. If I had one giant Ohtani card, I would hold that.
You have 20
for as long as I could.
You've been buying Ohtani cards since 2018. And you have a collection of about 20 solid cards.
So I'm picking like my 5 that I like. I want to keep those for as long as possible. The other 15, I think I'm selling.
So with you saying that, it kind of seems that you believe that Ohtani's best years are behind him.
I think by holding though, I'm saying
you're holding 5 of them, but you're selling 15. So you're kind of saying
I'm hedging my bets. Is what I think.
His best years are behind him.
That he may never be he may never pitch again. There is a potential for that.
Best
years are behind him, I guess. But that one we will always remember those.
I mean,
and
if you were selling all 20, then 100%, like your stance would be.
I'm done. Yeah,
I think this is going to be the most money I'm going to be able to get by selling.
I think that at some point he is going to win a World Series, and that's when you sell. And now it's going to be with the Angels. I don't know, but I think at some point he is going to be on a team that wins the World Series. That's the time. That's the pinnacle. That's the pinnacle of the time to sell.
Yeah. I think for his prices to go up,
just like Aaron Judge, when he tied that AL, that was the time.
I believe
never came back.
I believe you're right, but I think it goes even further than that. I think Ohtani has to win a World Series, but he has to be the best hitter in the World Series and the best pitcher in the World Series, and single-handedly be the reason why his team won the World Series. And I believe his cards go up. But I think that's the only way.
The WBC thing was a big bump. I mean, huge. It was a gigantic
Winning
bump.
a World Series is not enough. Like him being on a team that wins a World Series, maybe only hitting, maybe only pitching, not standing out with both hitting and pitching. I think he has to do both, and he has to do both well.
I think the WBC, I'm glad you mentioned, Doug, that was, to me, that finale is a preview potentially of his future.
Yep.
I think the future of Ohtani is he comes back as a pitcher, but he's a closer.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's what I said a long time ago.
I think that's what's going to happen.
2018.
Yeah. And now I think
how many more
Johns,
he could win another couple of WBCs in his career too. He could be the unfortunately I can't compare it to Carmelo Anthony because he doesn't sell, but like he could be the top. He could take over Miguel Cabrera's throne of most WBCs. I want to talk about plates and patches, and I don't know if you guys are feeling the same way. I don't know if it's because of the stuff that's going on with Panini and Fanatics. Maybe that's the issue. I just don't feel like football's here yet in terms of 2023 products. And I know this isn't really selling plates and patches, and we do have products to sell, and this is the anti-sales pitch right now. But I just don't it's just not there yet. And they try to release this a little early. It usually comes out late in the season. I used to be a fan of it back in the day when it had the encased hit. But I know that there's not going to be a Bryce Young or a Will Levis or a Stroud. They're just going to have base cards. They're just going to have relics. I just can't get into football products yet. I'm not there yet.
Well, then let me be the sales pitch right now, because I think week 1, in a weird way, was the best thing for football collectors to happen. The best case scenario for football collectors. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, kind of laid an egg. And who looked good?
This doesn't sound like it's good for people who are selling.
Okay, kind of laid an egg and didn't have and they don't have autos.
This is a pro Panini sales pitch.
Exactly.
Okay, I get you.
Who did look good? Anthony Richardson looked real good. Yes, I know there's some injury concerns, concussions concerns. Hopefully he's okay, but he looked really good in a game in a tough game. Bijan Robinson looked really good, and I think Bijan Robinson is a really interesting player.
He had 8 touches.
But explosive. Looked exciting. I was saying I think the Falcons are kind of an exciting team that I wasn't thinking about, and now they're totally on my radar because they're going like positionless football. Everybody plays like receivers, tight end. Nobody on offense has a position other than your offensive line and your QB essentially. And I like and Bijan Robinson fits really nicely into that profile. So I think he could potentially be a guy who pops off in the wide receiver. We always have one guy when it comes to a receiver running back in a draft class that like the hobby says that's the guy.
Puka Nacua.
Wow. Wasn't gonna say nothing.
I mean, that's
Is he a rookie?
that's all. That's all. That's all you need to know. I mean,
How do you spell his name?
the guy, the kid can run routes. I mean,
How do you spell his name?
A fifth-round pick who never had 1,000 yards.
Puka.
Fifth-round pick who never had over 1,000 yards receiving in his college career.
That guy's his first name.
Yeah. He had a big week.
Well, he does have some Prism draft cards.
He's gonna be the.
He's gonna be a baller, and Stafford looks, I mean, better than he's looked since the Super Bowl run.
You will not.
And what
You will not be having that conversation come next week. And I was going to sit here and be like, let's make a bet. But if I was you, I probably wouldn't. So, I mean, we don't have to make a bet on the game.
I don't make bets.
You know,
because
you're going to lose.
The bets are ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, well, I came in, wore clown makeup on the show one time. I made a bet. I think there was a bet you lost, and it was like Christina Aguilera, and you never sang it. But like,
yeah, because I always got to sing something or wear like a tutu or do something. That would be actually funny because Tutu Atwell and I could.
Well, we'll be talking about him later. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, just a baller. It's just a
good.
Just a
how
good
about
ball
I have
player.
to wear a tutu, or you have to dress up like Debo from Friday?
How do I do that?
Just wear a button-up shirt. I was gonna say it's not much.
Some sunglasses. You got to shave your head.
Yeah.
I gotta shave my head.
You gotta have a wonky eye.
I have to shave my head.
Yeah, get a one of those caps from like the bald cap from Amazon.
I mean, I'll
Quite a
do
look.
the you gotta wear a Niner jersey on the hype.
Sure.
I mean, I'll do that.
That's easy.
Whatever.
All right.
Let me do one more selling point for this. And how often do we say that sometimes the QBs that sell the best among rookies are the ones who never play because you don't know how good or bad
because
they
of the
are.
uncertainty.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen every single year. We've seen a quarterback that has sold well because of the uncertainty of how good they could potentially be.
And if I'm like collecting the Hendon Hooker or something, go, well, Jared Goff is playing for a big contract next year, may not be a Lion next year, which leaves the door open for someone like Hendon Hooker on a good football team. So
I think for me, I'm not, and we still have Flawless. I think we still have a couple other releases of 2022. I haven't quite gotten past 2022 yet, so Niners favored by 7 for that game right now. So I
Yeah,
don't know
that
if we're doing
makes
the points.
I will, and I will say this: doom and gloom, and I know we're selling product, plates and patches. If anybody knows me, no, 2010 is my favorite product of all time. 2010 plates and patches. It's gone downhill every year.
It has.
Does anybody know?
They didn't even make it last year.
Anybody know the first year plates and patches has come out?
I do.
2010.
5 hits.
So to say it's
case
gone
it.
downhill every year.
So, yeah.
we
lot of
need
years.
that plates and patches is going to be a kicker. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the one that blows.
Saves it.
is this the savior year for plates and patches?
Well, and then I know baseball and basketball and hockey are sitting back. We're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers here. The NFL, and I know, if there's any way to say it's scripted, it clearly was not, because the 40-0 Cowboys-Giants game followed up by Rodgers getting hurt after 4 plays, going into it turned into an exciting Jets-Bills game, but you had a Josh Allen that threw three picks, looked like Cody Pickett from the Niner years. He just wasn't the guy yesterday. And
You know who looked like Cody Pickett? Kenny Pickett.
yeah, he did.
Take
I just like to point out, I have been saying for a while, and everyone's all aboard the Josh Allen train, and I like him, and I think he's a very talented QB, but I have been saying he's a little reckless. He's too much of a gunslinger. This happens all the time. He's throwing a lot of picks. And now I saw some crazy stat of, like, in his last 19 games, he's got, like, 20 picks, including the playoffs. He's a little too reckless.
I'd take him
right
on
now.
my team.
Well,
No, don't get me wrong.
But you're used to that. Stafford
But
throws
if
a lot
we're,
of picks too.
I'm saying if we're talking the elites,
you were out of.
if we're talking the elites of QBs, I think maybe we need to pump the brakes a little bit.
If you were, and I know Doug's answer is going to be absolutely insane, but if you are able to suit up Josh Allen as a 49er,
Yes, I'm taking.
but
Of course
you
I'm
got to
taking
get rid of Brock Purdy.
Yes.
If come on, Doug, just say I wouldn't take it. I would be like, no. Good.
Josh
good.
Allen or Brock Purdy?
No, you suit up. Josh Allen is a 49er next week, but for whatever reason, the Bills were like, we really need Brock Purdy.
Well, if you gave me Brock Purdy's contract for Josh Allen, I'd consider it. If you're gonna pay $775,000 a year for
it's 900
for
something.
whatever, but like, yeah,
what if
we
money
can't-
is not a factor?
money isn't a
Yeah.
factor.
Then I'm taking Josh Allen.
The contract that they're both coming over and they're both getting paid the same.
I'd really have to deliberate on that one. It'd be a really tough choice.
Cannot do it.
Can't do
Cannot get himself
Probably
to say
just
yes.
Mahomes, probably.
Okay, Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Okay, but you also
You're still pumping the brakes.
He's a champion.
on Josh Allen.
Andy Reid comes with you, like so. Shanahan goes to the Chiefs.
No.
Oh man, come on! It's Andy Reid.
I like Shanahan, man. He's got style. He's got style. He's got swag.
Man, tell me. You're
So
a
does
Niner
Andy
fan
Reid,
without
though.
telling
You
me
know,
you're
he's just a
Niner
different
fan.
kind of swag.
You know, it just
He's
when
got
you,
that-
when
he's
you
got-
live across the street from the stadium, it's family, you know, and that's like losing a family member. I can't bring in a new family member, you know. It's like my family out there. Yeah. The Niner League. Not the-
Well, lucky for us, none of this is happening. So.
I'm making
But Rodgers, I quickly before we get into guess that price, I know we're getting a little close on time now. Some people mentioned, you know, if the Rodgers is out for the year, as we heard the news today. Zach Wilson, do they run with him all year? I don't know. But guys that are retired that might be available, okay? And what would be the best for the hobby? Carson Wentz,
No.
Cam Newton,
No.
Josh Rosen,
No.
Colin Kaepernick.
It's just not going to happen. It's been too long.
He's 30.
His agents contacted the Jets.
Oh, I know they have.
Dude,
I know.
He's
I know.
36. He's 36. He's been out of
And
the league.
hasn't played for a
He's been out of the league for how long? How long has it actually been? 6 years?
Look, I get it.
Joe
I get
Flacco, who was a Jet.
No.
Matt Ryan, who's not said he's retired yet.
Probably. That's probably the
Matt
most.
Ryan is yeah, you're going to say Phillip Rivers?
He's not on this list. It gets a little worse after that. Chase Daniel.
Wait, it gets worse after Josh Rosen?
Well, I don't know why he's on the top of the list. This is from, I don't know who this is from. I took a picture, a screenshot.
You did say Cam Newton, right?
Cam Newton. I mean, that's kind of intriguing for me. I think Cam Newton, 2011
every
rookie
year
class.
we've been saying intriguing with him, and it's just
What
not
is it
happening.
about him? Is he a terrible interview, or does
I
he
don't
want
know.
like $100 million
No,
or
he's-
something?
Who has a
a very funny
quarterback
interview from
on
what
their
I've seen.
team right now that
God, you know-
that they've drafted that is their future that they could actually move away from who's starting for them right now?
Do you know who would have been perfect? Trey Lance.
Well, I was saying they have Cooper Rush.
It is crazy. If the Niners had just held on to Trey Lance a couple more, a disgruntled Trey Lance for one more week, they'd be on the phone with the Jets right now and probably get way more value.
What if
Oh well.
What if the Cowboys
I
Trade.
mean, maybe
Trey Lance and they end up getting like a second round pick?
they actually upgrade.
That
It
would be
wouldn't be.
nuts.
I wouldn't be.
Niner fans would be so sad.
So here we got Kellen Mond, Bryce Perkins, Trevor.
Oh, Bryce Perry, good ball player. I mean, I'd take him.
Trevor Siemian, Danny Etling, Colt McCoy, Ian Book, who's now on the Niners practice squad, or at least trying out for the Niners, Matt Barkley or Brett Hundley. Man. So, I mean, Cam Newton, we're agreeing. I mean, the best guy on that list, Carson Wentz.
Of all those guys, I was going to
Matt
say
Ryan?
the guy that's most feasible is Matt Ryan, but I don't see that happening. And obviously, let's just put it to bed right now. Tom Brady cannot go to the Jets.
Right.
He's an part owner of the Las Vegas
Yeah,
Raiders.
conflict of interest.
It will not happen.
Brett
so
Favre?
let's just put that to sleep. Come back, Brett. We tried.
Who else is there? There's got to be somebody that just recently retired.
The only other one, and only because
Philip
there was
Rivers, like you mentioned.
Ben Roethlisberger. But I doubt it. Because last year there was the not rumor. Ben Roethlisberger confirmed that the Niners called him.
Ben Roethlisberger, I feel like
it's not gonna happen. It's Zach Wilson.
Roethlisberger had a lot of contact when he played. I feel like there was a lot of mileage on that body.
Or do you do this? Do you call up the Arizona Cardinals, even though he's not healthy right now, and say, hey, when he's back, what do you want for Kyler?
I think you need somebody to be plugged in right now.
Right. But you, we were talking about this before. Can you say what's the timeline for Kyler right now? 6 to 8 weeks is what we're looking at for, maybe 6 weeks or so. I don't know
who's backing up
is.
Baker Mayfield.
Because
I remember that was in training camp. It was that job was up for grabs.
Yeah, but see, any team right now, because the season's so early, they're not going to mortgage their backup right now, who's been in the system the whole preseason.
And I would say if the Vikings were in a rebuild mode, then they would probably move Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, but
I also could see Kirk Cousins. I think he's
on a contract year too.
But he's a good fit for the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
There is the rumor circulating around Brady. If you look up the QB rumors, he would just have to sell his stake. He'd have to sell his stake.
I just don't see it happening, especially the year of the Super Bowl. It'd be too. No, I don't see it happening. It's for months and months. I've been on the Tom Brady isn't really retired train, but now I'm finally no.
Jameis Winston,
famous.
Now that actually makes sense.
I like it.
And it probably wouldn't cost a lot to get him.
But you almost want to find it.
Is that Ryan Tannehill?
Trade options.
Maybe. I also don't think they have enough. They gave up the house for Aaron Rodgers. They don't have that much to trade.
You almost don't want to plug in. You almost want to try to find a guy that's as similar to Rodgers because you've done this whole offseason based on his skill level, right? So your playbook is not running and, stuff like that. So, you think you try to find a guy that's like him. I don't know.
Baker Mayfield.
I think the best option, and not only for them.
Yeah, but the Tampa Bay trades Baker Mayfield. They start Kyle Trask.
Yeah,
I think they just won though too.
Yeah, they did in a upset in Minnesota. I think that if we're looking at what's the best option for the Jets and what's the best option for the hobby, it's happening. It's Zach Wilson. If Zach Wilson can rebound and have a decent year, and let's be honest, they didn't have as good a team around him last year, and they were a decent team. They didn't have a running game to speak of after Breece Hall got hurt. Now you've got him and Dalvin Cook. You can mask.
I got it.
The Jets have contacted Chad Henne. Yeah, he's 38.
I got who the Jets should go after. I got it. Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, where's he?
Where is he right now?
I have no idea, but
Where's Teddy? Is he in Miami still?
He's in Miami.
He should be a Jet.
Yeah, but they need a backup plan for Tua. He's been injured, right?
They have Skylar Thompson.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't want to play him last year.
Teddy Bridgewater would be a great fit.
Oh, I'm sorry. He's on the Lions.
I was gonna say I don't think he's there. Yeah, he's not there anymore.
He must be the second. He must be behind Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's number 2. Yeah, it's Zach Wilson. If he can have some semblance of an okay year, if you're a collector of his, you're gonna at least recoup something. So that's the best case.
After this week, and even Lawrence almost lost that 2021 quarterback rookie class.
It's a weird one.
It's a weird one. People are already out on
Trevor
Fields
Lawrence
too.
will be fine.
Fields has already been out. I'm telling you, I don't even remember the guy's name. He might be starting in Chicago. Who's the guy I mentioned last week?
Yeah.
Back up to Fields.
Boynton, Bob, Broad,
Billy
Bob, Thornton.
Billy Borton, Billy
Corgan, but that's a different Chicago.
Billy Bogdan.
No. Tyson Badgett.
Oh, doesn't matter what your name is.
I told you he's going to be starting this year. I told you he's going to be starting. All right, let's get into Guess That Price.
All right, let's get into Guess That Price. We're sort of doing a Guess That Price / buy or sell here. Basically going to give you guys some of the notable stars of week 1 or newsmakers. And obviously Guess That Price. And then I'll also ask you buying or selling these guys at these prices. So let's get it started with, hey, look, we were just talking about him. There's Zach Wilson. This is, I got to get my my little guide here. Zach Wilson. By the way, before we went on. Thank you. I had to count because I looked on
ruined the
Card
Jets I
Ladder for all the prices here, and Card Ladder had, as of about 2 o'clock Pacific time, about 2 hours ago here on September 12th, as we're recording this, 71 confirmed sales today for Zach Wilson cards. Just today.
But we got to remember that Zach Wilson, obviously a rookie photo shoot guy.
Big guy.
A lot of cards.
Lot of cards. So 71.
A lot invested in.
71, it doesn't actually surprise me.
No, yeah. And it's only going to grow.
71 to 100 I'd be like, that's a lot. That's a chunk.
Nonetheless, a lot of people are basically, that tells me not a lot of people are thinking this is going to last very long. Get out while the getting's good. Which this person tried to do with a 2021 Contenders Optic Rookie Ticket Auto Gold 3 of 10 PSA 10. It sold on September 12th for the best offer, which there might be the best. There's a lot of the best offers out there, so who knows? There might be some people backing out, but this did sell today. As of this recording.
Is it a buy it now?
It was a buy it now.
And you want me to give you a price?
Well, this is the name of the game. Guess that price.
It's number to 10.
Number to 10, PSA 10, gold, auto, Zach Wilson.
Okay.
All right. Let's hear those guesses.
$475.
$475?
$475.
Okay.
$5.99.
$5.99 actual price. Again, this is why I say there might be some people backing out. $2,200
No.
for a gold PSA. So that's a hard sell for you.
That's
guys.
wrong.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that's
Take my money. I'll give you this card.
No. Well, take my card.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, take my card. Give me
take
money.
my Zach Wilson card. Give me my money.
Yeah, exactly.
I might have to go through them right now. I think I have a cracked ice.
Yeah.
Contenders
It's probably worth at least, I don't know,
$5,000.
Yeah, sound the alarm. Anybody who just heard that and went, huh? You did what now? Yeah, $2,200.
There might be a little bit of hanky-panky going on with somebody that has a lot of Zach Wilson doing a little fake buy it now there. I don't know.
For sure. That is always
Man,
something to keep in-
I honestly, when I wrote down 475, I was like, I probably should go about 225.
Yeah, I was $5.99.
I actually felt like I was a little too high, and I know it's a Gem Mint 10, and it's.
I got a point though.
yeah, by default, Doug does win that one. So
both get 0, but still.
I know. I was like, if there was a way to not have anyone win. All right, moving on to the best wide receiver of the weekend. That is Tyreek Hill. That is
It's a good-looking slab.
It's a BGS 9.5 blue rookie 2016 Prism. BGS 9.5. This sold on Monday on September 11. Also for the best offer.
What's it? Is it numbered?
It's SSP.
Oh.
SP.
How much? What did it sell for?
Well, I'm not. Hey, now. Don't you do that.
You almost did it.
I almost was like, oh, it actually. SSP is what it's listed as. But it's a blue parallel rookie, Tyreek Hill. On the Chiefs. Should be mentioned. Great game.
Wearing the wrong number.
215 yards receiving.
Clearly the fastest guy in the field there.
Crazy.
All right, since I got
game.
the first one, we're going with $195.
Wow.
Oh.
Dan?
Best receiver in the league.
Yeah, he's the best receiver in the league.
$650.
Well, judging by Cody's reaction, I don't think I got a point on this one.
Actual price, $725.
Ooh, I do know me some Tyreek Hill. What's
the
up?
winner.
I'll give you
So
How many yards did he have?
215.
Yeah,
So
I
it sounds
mean,
like
it's an
Doug
ugly
is
card.
selling and Dan might be buying.
Yeah, selling completely.
No, I'm selling.
Oh, okay.
So the back end of his career. Guy's been playing for 7 years.
I'm still selling.
Man, he looks as good as ever.
I
right
get why
now.
people are buying.
Oh, yeah.
I get it,
Explosive.
but
Tua's looking great. So.
He's a couple years for being Antonio Brown.
Oh, yeesh.
Not in.
I mean, he had a run. So, all right.
I'd take him on my team.
All right. Mac Jones. Look, they lost, but Mac looked pretty good. Like, he had some moments in that game. I know he had a pick and he got sacked a couple times, but actually was the third best QB for passing yards, and I think was the top 3 in QB rating as well this week. Oh, maybe not top QB rating, but did have 3 passing touchdowns. Had a decent week against a very tough Philadelphia Eagles team. This is a gold hollow. Mac Jones, PSA 10, no huddle, rookie auto, 7 out of 10. Also sold the day after that loss to the Eagles. This was also up for auction. I don't have the bids, but this was won in an auction.
Okay.
All
You go
right.
first this time.
I'm gonna go for $13.75.
Jeez. 2,900.
Actual price.
Wow,
Give me a point.
You're really buying Mac Jones.
No, I'm not. But that's just I've seen some of his cards.
Sounds like you're buying.
Doug would be closer because the actual price $34.01, $3,401.
Yeah. Sell your Mac Jones to Doug right now.
There's nobody behind him anymore. Bailey Zappi's gone. That's what I thought.
No,
was
Bailey
big.
Zappe is there.
You know,
He's back.
Practice squad? Or
No,
third string?
he's back on the
I
roster.
see.
They couldn't just go out there with one quarterback.
No, they couldn't. But yeah, I'm not like fully on board, back on board with Mac, but good performance against a really tough Eagles team. So I'll give him credit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in 1300. I'm into it.
There you go. So maybe a couple more losses. You get in
That's
low.
like
and-
that's not even the prism you want.
No, it's not.
yeah, but it's gold and it's PSA 10.
Yeah, but it's a disco.
And it's a good-looking slab.
It's a good looking.
Well,
yeah.
I mean,
I like the
It's
disco.
the right slab.
I like the disco.
Is
All
this
right.
the last card?
We got two more actually.
Okay, good.
We had five. We got so Doug can win here on maybe the guy who's going to be the most talked about QB in the hobby here for a couple of weeks, or at least this week. 2020 Panini Contenders auto of Jordan Love, auto 9, but PSA 10 on the card. Rookie ticket, non-numbered. Yeah, it's a base. Jordan Love, huge game. Had the highest QB rating of any QB.
When did this sell?
This sold I believe the day, on Monday. This sold for best offer on Monday.
I should probably change it if it's best offer. But
Yeah,
678.
All right, 678 for Doug.
wait, what'd you put?
678.
All right.
Oh, wow. Just 3,200.
Wow. Quite a gap.
It's a
Well,
base.
we have
Base.
a winner. Doug is the winner.
Dude, that guy is the best ever do it.
But
Look at his
Dan,
auto.
at least Dan was right. This did go for 4 digits, sold for $1,000.
That's under.
I still think it's under.
I'm buying.
You're buying.
I'm buying.
You're
Nobody,
buying Jordan Love.
unfortunately, the hobby has not taken the contenders as much as they used to. You
No.
know, that's my thing.
But
if that was a gold prism.
That could be the best Jordan Love autograph ever made.
I think the 9 auto might hurt it a
yeah,
little
they
bit.
should have not graded the auto on that
Yeah,
one.
but it was the highest priced one of all the cards that sold over the last couple days. So it was the only one that went over
Yeah,
1,000, which kind of tells me it's a good time to still buy them. You can still get in.
I'd buy.
Yeah. All right, let's do the last one because I did. Let's get Dan on the board.
Where's Purdy?
That
whole thing without Purdy.
Purdy's too obvious. I had to go a little off the board.
This guy can flat out
And here's the
run.
thing.
I think he's become a Charger fan. I think he's not a non-Niner
Here's
fan.
the thing.
He's always been a Charger fan.
Here's what surprised me. Look, Miami made all the noise when it came to a great passing game, obviously. But the only team to have 2 wide receivers with over 100 yards.
Just talk about it. Get up on the mountaintop.
was
Let
the
people
Los
know.
Angeles Rams. So I had to throw it in. I know Puka's
we would have had
getting-
200-yard receivers too.
We
could blow out the
if-
Steelers.
That's true.
Well, actually,
we had
so
one.
Van Jefferson dropped probably what would be considered. It would probably be like a 70-yard touchdown. Nobody was around him. That would have put him over 100 yards. We would have had 3 receivers over 100 yards.
Yeah. So Puka is the guy getting the headlines right now. But I thought, there's not really any card data to go off of. And Tutu Atwell was a higher draft pick a couple years ago. This is his 2021 National Treasures Hollow Gold patch
It's
auto.
a good-looking card.
It is a nice
It's a good-looking jersey, and I mean,
right.
it's.
So let's.
I mean, you can make an argument.
about-
you can make an argument the best-looking uniform in all of sports.
I have said all the nice things I'm going to say. 5 out of 10.
Good auto.
This sold also sold on Monday. Auction. It sold at auction on Monday. But yeah, high draft pick. Injured most of 2021.
Third rounder, I believe.
Yeah. I think I looked up second round.
All right.
Second round.
Second round.
I
So,
got-
so
I got-
high
I-
expectations for
I
him.
got this.
All right.
0.
Crap. Well, he's got nothing to lose, so
Oh, that's fine.
Garbage.
Garbage and crap.
I love it because I want.
But I will throw out there $565 just for S's and G's.
All right.
Well, now I watched a lot of Rams games, and I'm very familiar with Tutu Atwell.
He hasn't played a ton.
$150.
Yeah.
It is a 5 out of 10 though.
Well, technically, Dan does get the W on this one, but you undersold him. $261.94.
I mean,
His one of one Black Prism sold in August, I believe, for about $300.
He hasn't done much. He had a little bit of a decent end to last year, but the Rams didn't have any receivers. They didn't have Matt Stafford, but he did have a connection with Baker.
Chartarius,
a.k.a.
Chartarius. Yeah.
But he is a smaller receiver, speedster. Not gonna get 100 yards week in and week out, and definitely not gonna get a lot of receptions. When he gets 100 yards, it's gonna be because he broke a really big one.
You guys seem stacked at receiver.
So if you're
If
you're picking a receiver for the Rams to invest in this year, it's not Tutu.
It's
Cooper
not.
Kupp.
It's not. It's not Tutu. But I think Tutu is going to be. I'm glad he's on our team.
He's not. One of those guys is not going to get any catches. Once
But if
Cooper
you
Kupp
saw,
comes.
Yeah,
I mean,
once Cooper's back, they're going to pick one.
Puka and Kua is going to be a legit player if he's healthy. Runs routes. He's big. He gets open. He's got some speed. He reminds me a lot. He reminds me a lot of Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. Well,
But I mean, if we have two Cooper Kupps going on at the same time, problems.
I say all this.
Niners secondary isn't good. It's the weak spot. The weak spot.
We'll say all this, but again, yeah, it's. I mean, all this pales in comparison to Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel.
Niners
George
are not
Kittle,
going to be able to
and
trade.
Christian
Pick
McCaffrey.
6 guaranteed from Mr. Pick 6.
Who's Mr. Pick Six?
Stafford.
Oh, I was like, you have a Niner secondary guy?
No, I'm
who's
just saying
Mr.
one of them.
Pick
It's
Six?
probably Hufunga or something. But like, yeah, I mean, somebody's going to get it.
It won't be Hufunga.
Could be
It'll
Fred
probably
Warner.
Hufunga is taking a couple steps back.
You got to pick this week.
Maybe Fred Warner gets it.
It's done. Holds
Yeah,
it down
why
this
not?
time.
Let's
We
do
almost
it.
had 2 this week.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
The greatest. Some people are saying the greatest Niner linebacker of all time.
It's getting up
Fred
there.
Warner.
Ooh, I can't. I don't want to put any disrespect on my guy Patrick Willis, though.
It's close though, right? It's a couple more years.
Yeah, I know. Oh, God, I'm such a
Gary Plummer. That's right.
Ken Norton Jr.
Julian Peterson. He had some years. Trying to name
Lawson.
more. I mean, obviously Navarro.
Yeah, no, they say it's the Niner pecking order is Patrick Willis, Navarro, Bowman.
Yeah.
Then Fred Warner.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
We'll see.
I can't name anymore.
Yeah, out of him.
That's all. I got.
Jeff Ulbrich.
Ken Norton, yeah. Jeff
Ulbrich,
Ulbrich, yeah, defensive coordinator for the Jets.
Yeah, that's great.
Well, that's all we got for you guys today. But check us out and make sure you jump into some Bowman breaks at Mojobreak.com. Get your boxes at MojobreakShop.com. And we will see you on the next hype. Peace.